So despite it being updated, we were still spied on, and our social media accounts were tracked and screenshots were taken, and some of those officers still work here, and I'm included in that. I've seen the evidence. I've seen my tweets in other people's subject access requests. It gives all the reasons why they can look at your social media account, and nowhere in this document does it say that council officers can look at our social media and our Twitter accounts because they don't like us discussing our personal situation. I want to know, why, if it didn't happen as the council says it does, it said it didn't happen, why is the council settled with one parent? They've been paid, there's settlement, there's a paper trail, so it did happen. We've seen the evidence, it's available publicly if you go and look for it. But the council still denies it happened. We were promised an independent investigation and we haven't had it.
Say about the case that you've raised is that settlements are a two-way street and there will be reasons why those settlements happened. If somebody who is bringing a case doesn't wish to settle, then it's their right not to do that and to take it further if they felt that that was something that they could then win. But the settlement was accepted. The other thing I would say about social media is that if somebody puts something in the public domain, it's not spying.
It is if it's someone's wedding photos.
If something's in the public domain, they have put it in the public domain. There are certain officers whose role it is to do communication, and it would be perfectly acceptable for them to do that. There are other officers for whom it wouldn't be acceptable for them to be doing it. I've not seen the evidence pack because I wasn't involved with the case that was brought, but the case was settled, Kerry, and that was a choice. So what is it that you're asking for?
Well, my concern is that this did happen, and the council can deny it all they want. This did happen. This happened to us, a small group of us, parent carers, and we want assurances that this is not going to happen again, that it isn't still happening, and we want an inquiry into why it happened. That's what we were promised. Full council voted on it. We want answers.
There was a legal case, Kerry, that was settled, right? Now, that could have been taken further, and it wasn't. I don't know whether you were involved in that. If you weren't, then that's an avenue for you. I don't know.
My subject access request.
For you, I don't know.
My subject access. I know that I was spied on social media. I've seen my tweets in other people's subject access requests. So I know I was spied on. Those of us who were spied on, we all know. And it wasn't a short little snapshot. It was over a long period of time.
But what I can comment on is the settlement that was made. Now, if somebody still wishes to bring and ask and bring a case, then that's up to them to do that.
I can't do that if the council will not give me the information I've requested.
Well, that is partly why people bring in a lawyer.
Yeah, that takes time, money, and effort, doesn't it? And
of course it does. Of course, I'm not disputing that. Well, I mean, okay.
Yeah, I just thinking about all the families that were affected by this. We want some reassurances that this is still not still happening, and that there will be some kind of inquiry.
I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask the previous administration as to what the motivation was.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? Why some of the comments that were made by officers that still work here were blatantly, it was because we complained and they quite obviously didn't like us. That doesn't fit in with that. You can't just look at someone's social media because they've made complaints and because you don't like them.
I agree, and that isn't what that says. It says it's directly relating to safeguarding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody else.
We were promised an inquiry. We voted on it. Well, I didn't vote on it at full council, but all the other councillors in the room did, and it was overwhelmingly yes, we would have an inquiry, and then it's just not happened. Change of administration, and it's still not happened. So we're
The legal cases, and the legal cases have been settled.
one has.